Lala and your husband.
Oh.
That was whoa. Okay, all right, so wait, backstory.
Okay.
Because I held this in for an entire year, right?
Not around with Swizz and not breaking up happy homes. Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house.
Ooh. Now we finally got a name out in the open, and it's a big one. Lala Anthony is tangled right in the middle of this explosive Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz mess. The talk on the streets? A private tape just leaked, allegedly catching Swizz and Lala getting way too close when they thought nobody was watching. And when Alicia found out, insiders swear she didn't just get mad, she completely snapped. Years of bottled-up tension came rushing out all at once, and suddenly, the situation turned into a full-on emotional brawl behind closed doors. But here's the real kicker. This whole scandal didn't just appear out of thin air. Oh no, the streets have been buzzing about Swizz and Lala for years, like background noise everyone pretended not to hear. And now, with this tape floating around, it might be the hard evidence Alicia's been ignoring while keeping up her polished, loyal wife image. Word is, this wasn't some oops. It happened one time. Slip. Sources claim this has been quietly going on, hidden under designer clothes and red carpet smiles for years. Now the million-dollar question, what exactly is on that tape? How spicy, how incriminating is it? And if the rumors are true about the length of this so-called friendship, then Alicia might already be planning to walk away from her marriage for good. The tea is so hot right now it could set off alarms, and people are saying this is only the first layer of secrets about to spill. And you know what's wild? As outrageous as Swizz's cheating scandal sounds, it's not exactly shocking for some folks. Let's keep it real. His history speaks louder than any denial he can give. People have been whispering for years. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And that old saying, you lose him how you got him, is suddenly looking like a headline in the making. What's really got everybody's jaws hitting the floor this time isn't just the cheating, it's who Swizz was allegedly creeping with.
If you don't believe me, go on his page on IG. He always starts leaving comments in the morning and she be the first one to respond. But she don't just leave one response. She keeps it going and going and going to the point where he says you gotta chill because it's starting to look obvious to my wife. So I said, who are you and why are you giving this information to me? God, I love you. Thank you so much. I'm blessed.
And trust, this wasn't some random late-night fling with a stranger. Word is, Swizz has been tangled up with none other than Lala Anthony. And here's the thing, this isn't even fresh gossip. Insiders are swearing up and down that this alleged affair has been quietly running for at least 3 years, maybe even longer, and somehow they managed to keep it locked away from the public eye. Until now. Fans are shook because the rumor mill says there's a leaked recording floating around, allegedly catching Swizz and Lala in a scene that leaves little, if any, room for innocent explanations. And now that the clip is supposedly out there, people are starting to connect the dots, wondering if this picture-perfect marriage was already crumbling behind the scenes long before the news broke. But here's where it gets extra messy. The streets are saying Lala allegedly started her thing with Swizz while she was still married to Carmelo Anthony. And according to folks who claim to be close to the situation, this secret affair might have been one of the final nails in the coffin for her marriage to Melo. Now let's be real, nobody's trying to paint Carmelo as a saint here. His own cheating scandals were practically public record, and the whispers about those alleged outside kids never really stopped. But here's the real jaw-dropper. While everyone was busy pointing fingers at Melo, his wife might have been knee-deep in her own mess with Swizz at the same time. And that's the part making the streets go wild. Melo had Lala out here looking straight up foolish, especially since she was always the one standing by his side in public, defending him when the cheating stories hit the blogs. She even once went on record saying, "I wouldn't be with someone if he was cheating on me." Now, hearing that quote again in light of these allegations, she once said loud and clear, "There's no part of me that's okay with that. I don't go looking for things, but if I was to find out, I would deal with it. I trust my husband." But here's the twist. Those cheating rumors about Carmelo didn't just stay whispers for long. They eventually turned into cold, hard truth. And from the looks of it, Lala might have decided it was time to get her own payback. Word on the street? she allegedly started having her own affairs. And yes, the talk is that Swizz Beatz was right there on the list. When Carmelo found out, insiders say he couldn't handle it. Funny, considering he'd been serving up his own scandals for years. That's when the cracks in their marriage started turning into full-blown breaks. But here's where it takes a turn. This so-called affair didn't just pop up from nowhere. Oh no, it had already been whispered about before, and not just by random fans. Back in 2021, radio host Ms. Jones straight up claimed that someone from Swizz's own team spilled the tea. According to her, this insider snitched about a secret relationship between Swizz and Lala, details and all. And allegedly, once Lala finally filed for divorce from Carmelo, she started pressing Swizz to return the favor and leave Alicia. But here's the kicker. Swizz wasn't about to blow up his own marriage just because she pulled the trigger on hers. If these allegations are true, that would mean Lala went all in expecting him to follow, only for him to stay right where he was. And that's the kind of twist that turns a messy affair into a full-blown soap opera the streets can't stop talking about. When the rumors started heating up, Swizz jumped straight into defense mode, fast. He claimed he and Lala were nothing more than friends, swearing there was nothing shady going on. He even clapped back online, posting a message that basically said, "Knock it the F off with that nonsense." Then, just to drive the point home, he shared a screenshot of Alicia's song, Lala, and wrote, "This is the only Lala I'm rocking." He even told folks to go stream Alicia Keys' album Miss Everywhere, calling it a classic. And here's the thing. According to multiple insiders, Alicia actually believed him at the time. Swizz swore up and down that nothing was going on with Lala, and Alicia stood by her man. But now the question is, who's real and who's fake? Because just recently, word is Alicia allegedly came across some hard evidence, something that left zero room for excuses. Insiders say ever since she saw it, she's been going off behind closed doors, no matter how good their public smiles look. And that's the craziest part, they had literally just celebrated their anniversary. Now, the house is reportedly tense, with blow-ups happening left and right because Alicia is not letting this one slide quietly. But here's where it gets even wilder. This isn't fresh tea. Multiple blind items have been hinting at this for years. One from way back in 2021 basically spelled it out. Warning, don't believe the hype. This ends of the alphabet loving producer, writer, rapper is a cheater. He keeps his cheating super quiet and would never go public with a name. That already happened once, and he ended up having to marry her. And if that wasn't enough, another blind item poured even more tea, claiming that a former A+ list singer turned A- lister has been keeping very busy with a brand new television gig, suggesting that all the while there might have been way more going on behind the scenes than what the cameras ever caught. Apparently, Swizz hasn't exactly been sitting at home feeling guilty. Word is, he's been wrapped up with a protege of his that he swears is going to be the next big star. But here's what makes the whole situation even messier. Alicia and Lala weren't just casual acquaintances. They were close friends for years. So for Alicia, this isn't just about a husband straying. It's a double betrayal from both sides. And now the conversation is getting messy online. While a lot of fans feel bad for her, there's a whole other crowd saying this is nothing but karma coming full circle. Why? Because the streets haven't forgotten how Alicia got with Swizz in the first place, when he was still married to his ex-wife Mashonda. That old saying, "You lose him how you get him," is suddenly popping up in every comment section. Back then, when Mashonda tried to approach Alicia woman to woman, Alicia allegedly brushed her off like it was nothing serious. But making it even spicier, singer Jaguar Wright once claimed that Alicia was literally living under Mashonda and Swizz's roof, pretending she was there to work on music, while allegedly sneaking around behind Mashonda's back the whole time. And the kicker? Swizz was still legally married to Mashonda when all of this was going down. Mashonda wasn't about to sit quietly either. She clapped back with a full, public open letter, calling Alicia out for playing house with her husband and trying to dress it up like some fairy tale romance. Mashonda's words weren't soft either. She revealed that she went straight to Alicia, face to face, and told her point blank, "We are still married, we are still living together, and we just welcomed a child." But according to Mashonda, Alicia couldn't have cared less. The image she paints? Alicia sitting there, scribbling in her diary, writing lyrics like "If I Was Your Woman," while knowing full well the reality of the situation. In that now infamous open letter, Mashonda said she made it crystal clear to Alicia. Contrary to what you might be hearing, I'm still married to my husband. I'm living with him, and we just had a child. She claims it's been 2 years since she sent that message and never got a single reply. What she did get instead? Constant displays of what she called selfishness and disregard toward her and her son, which she says cut deeper than people realize. Mashonda admitted she actually believed in Alicia at first, until the whispers started getting louder that Alicia might be sleeping with her husband. At the time, both Alicia and Swizz denied it, playing it cool like the streets were just making things up. But months later, Mashonda says the truth slipped out. And the part that hurt the most? She personally asked Alicia, woman to woman, to back off so she could try to repair her marriage. Instead, Alicia kept moving forward like nothing was wrong. In that same letter, Mashonda didn't hold back. She wrote, "You know the role you played and how you contributed to the end of my marriage. You know I asked you to step back and let me handle my family problems you helped create." That's about as direct as it gets, and she laid it all out with receipts, dates, and names. Even after Mashonda went public with the full timeline, Alicia doubled down in interviews, claiming she and Swizz didn't get involved until after he and Mashonda were officially separated. She tried to spin it like people were just confused about the timeline, painting their love story as something pure, not betrayal. But the receipts told a different story, and as folks online love to say, the math never mathed. And here's where the irony burns. Just like Lala is allegedly pushing Swizz to leave Alicia so they can finally go public, sources say Alicia did the exact same thing when Swizz was with Mashonda. She wanted that relationship out in the open, and she didn't stop until she got exactly what she wanted. Multiple insiders have confirmed it. Alicia was allegedly the one whispering in Swizz's ear, pushing him to break things off with Mashonda, even while Mashonda was still at home raising their newborn son and trying to keep her family together. And in the end, Swizz walked out. Now, years later, what goes around really does come back around. And the karma, it's circling like a boomerang, with the whole messy cycle looking like it might be playing out all over again. And here's why a lot of fans aren't exactly rushing to feel sorry for Alicia. People haven't forgotten how she did Mashonda. Taking her husband was already scandal enough, but according to multiple reports, she allegedly took it further, trying to take her son too. Sources claimed Alicia was pushing Swizz to go after full custody of his and Mashonda's boy, Kasim Jr., right in the thick of the breakup drama. That's when folks realized this wasn't just a love triangle. It was starting to look like a full-blown takeover. And the way she allegedly inserted herself into private parenting decisions, ones that should have stayed strictly between two parents, only made the backlash louder. To a lot of people, it didn't seem like she was trying to build a new family. It looked like she was trying to erase the one that already existed. The custody battle got so heated that Mashonda eventually had to take a step back and force herself to make peace with Alicia. At the end of the day, she could see all the fighting was tearing her son apart, so she did what she felt a real adult would do, put the personal war aside and chose what was best for her child, even if it meant swallowing the hurt. That meant Mashonda had to co-parent with the very woman she believed helped break up her marriage, a situation that to this day, fans still haven't forgotten. Many believe Alicia allegedly used that child as leverage, pushing Mashonda into accepting her as Swizz's new wife. This wasn't some fairy tale blended family moment. It was a truce born out of necessity, not love. Mashonda eventually accepted her reality and tried to move forward for her son's sake. She, Alicia, and Swizz even made a few public appearances together, aiming to convince the world the drama was behind them. One of the most talked about moments came during a big ABC interview, where they sat side by side talking about building a strong co-parenting relationship and claiming they had moved past all the mess. But here's the kicker. The one who got cheated on was the one who had to take the high road, do the heavy lifting, and fix the damage. People were quick to praise Mashonda for being the bigger person, but behind the scenes, sources say Alicia wasn't happy. Word is, Alicia launched into full-blown damage control mode, lining up carefully crafted interviews, arranging family photo ops, and leaning into a perfect modern family image. She allegedly wanted to scrub away the homewrecker label once and for all, rebranding herself and Swizz as the power couple who beat the odds. Publicly, it looked like unity. Privately, insiders claim it was calculated. a strategy to rewrite the narrative and make sure the story everyone remembered wasn't about betrayal, but about love conquering all. Alicia leaned hard into the whole spiritual piece, living my truth, bonus mom image. But fans weren't buying it. And now that Swizz Beatz is allegedly treating her the same way she once treated Mashonda, people are saying it's pure karma. The streets are pointing out she shouldn't be shocked that Swizz would cheat on her with a friend. His history of wandering eyes isn't exactly a secret. Before Alicia ever entered the picture, Swizz had already cheated on Mashonda with multiple women. But Alicia clearly thought she'd be the one to finally make him stay. Oh, you fancy, huh? Well, let's rewind, because the pattern started long before. Back in the early 2000s, while Mashonda was pregnant with what was supposed to be their first child together, Swizz was already out here doing her dirty. He was allegedly having an affair with a woman named Nicole Levy. And to make it worse, he got Nicole pregnant at the exact same time Mashonda was carrying his baby. So picture it. Mashonda's planning for their future, carrying his child, and instead of support, she's dealing with the heartbreak of knowing another woman is expecting a baby by the same man. Reports say the stress and devastation from that betrayal caused serious complications with her pregnancy, and tragically, the baby was stillborn. Incredibly, Mashonda still forgave Swizz. She married him in 2004, holding on to hope that he would finally change. But instead of settling down, Swizz allegedly took Messi to a whole new level. While he was creeping around with Alicia Keys in 2007 or 2008, sources claim he was also seen with another woman, designer Jonna Sebastian, adding yet another chapter to his long-running Playboy history. And just like I said before, history has a way of repeating itself. Jonna ended up pregnant and later gave birth to his daughter, Nicole. So it wasn't just Mashonda he was betraying. He was allegedly two-timing Jonna and Alicia at the exact same time. And the wildest part? Alicia didn't seem fazed one bit. If anything, she stood firm in the chaos, like none of them mattered, refusing to let the noise shake her. But that's not the end, because the whispers didn't stop there. Over the years, more and more rumors have popped up about other alleged affairs Swizz has had, enough to make his history read like a never-ending tabloid column. Alicia knew the man she was marrying, but it seems like reality didn't match the fantasy she built in her head. Now the tables have officially turned. Alicia built her love story from the ashes of Mashonda's marriage, only to find herself facing the same betrayal, this time from someone she once called a friend. It's the ultimate full-circle moment, messy, poetic, and downright brutal. And now, the streets are talking about explosive evidence, whispers of leaked tapes, and Alicia allegedly going off behind closed doors. If the rumors are even halfway true, this drama is far from over. It's just getting started. So tell me, what do you think? Is this karma finally catching up? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs the tea, and make sure you're subscribed, because when the next chapter of this Hood Diary drops, you're not going to want to miss it.